Incoming hostiles.
Hello and welcome to Ware Gaming Weekly. Hello and welcome to another episode of Ware Gaming Weekly. My name is Nick, and right there is my brother Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
If you didn't know, me and Josh are brothers, and we sometimes record podcasts when we have nothing else to do. And so that's what we're doing now. You should see one also online right now called Ware Gaming News. And I would recommend watching that. Not necessarily first, but we did record that one first. So
Yes.
if you just feel like you want to spend a day with us, you know, that was an hour. Now this one's an hour. So how are you, Josh?
I'm doing pretty good. And we just got
How are
done
you since the last podcast?
we just got done talking about all the major news that's happened in the last. Well, we had done the major news. Yeah, we had done the Xbox reveal of their price and release date and all that stuff. And so now we've talked about the PlayStation price and release date and the video that came out. And so now we want to talk about kind of deep dive into some of the stuff that we're excited about. And
Yeah. And it's been a really interesting. This is kind of like the what we've been playing section. And the thing is, I was telling Josh before the show is I think it's going to be called the what I've not been playing. Because I, to be honest with you, have had like a miserable time playing games the last few weeks. Because I was just like, I beat the Outer Worlds probably 2 weeks ago, and I really enjoyed that. I actually don't know if I talked about that on the show yet, but I have Game Pass, and I played it on Game Pass, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the last you talked about, you were struggling with this one part because you had the hiccups, and you couldn't do something. You had to drink this stuff. And
that was when I was on the phone with you,
right?
So I've beaten the Outer Worlds, and I really enjoyed it. It feels very much like a Fallout game, obviously because Obsidian made it, and that's the whole thing. My friend at work who's also playing it, we've kind of been having little water cooler moments about the game. He really loved Fallout New Vegas, which is the last game that Obsidian made. The last Fallout game is Obsidian made. And he says there's a lot of very similar storylines and similar like vibes, I guess, but that he really likes the Outer Worlds too. So as well, rather. No, but there was this one point where, because of the way the game responds to your decision making, I apparently really early on in the game relied on my health. You have like a breathalyzer, sort of, not a breathalyzer, but like an inhaler that gives your health. You have different stuff. It can be health. It can add to your other perks or whatever. But I was dying a lot in the beginning of the game. And so I was using it a lot, but then I get this message pop up, says flaw, you're a drug addict, and you can choose not to accept the flaw. But at this time, I'm not quite sure what these flaws are supposed to do or whatever. Basically, if you accept that you have a flaw, you get a perk point. You get an additional perk point to your character. And so I saw this early on. I'm like, okay, neat, whatever. But I didn't realize that it was permanent and you can never fix it. So what that means is if I go too long in the game, if I go too long without hitting my inhaler, my stat points will be weaker. And that became a problem when I would forget that I have this affliction, and I'm supposed to be talking to like the head honcho of the big corporation that you're working against or with, depending on how you play.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a persuasive, like a persuasion check of like 100, but I forgot to hit my breathalyzer, or my inhaler, and all of a sudden I don't have 100 persuasion anymore, and I can't pass that check, which would be at least for my playthrough, the more desirable outcome. So there's several times where I restarted an interaction because and I feel like that's not cheating, because that's how I would have done it if I had done it. It'd be cheating if I was like, I didn't like that answer, so I'm going to go back. But this is like, no, I just forgot to do a step. It's different.
No, I think that's totally fine. That's kind of neat that you got it's that deep as far as like.
Yeah, well, and that's what impressed me a lot about it, because I've played some of Fallout 3, I played a lot of Fallout 4, but that was one, like, playing this game, it felt more like playing, I don't know, Mass Effect in a way. Granted, it's still deeper than Mass Effect in terms of those particular mechanics, but like the way that your companions work with you and you do your companion missions, and
someone's cooking something up there. It smells excellent. I don't know what they're doing, but anyway.
It works. It just works very well. If I have anything negative to say about the Outer Worlds, of course, this is a review-ish thing coming out a year after the game's already been made, but you planet hop. You go to all these different places to try to find. So the goal of real quick, the goal of the game is you are a part of this. You're in this far reaches of the galaxy, and this new colony that has been settled from Earth settlers. But your generation ship that you were on basically broke, and everyone stayed frozen. They called it the Hope ship, the Hope colony. And then this mad scientist is able to wake you up, and he's trying to get you to help him so he can revive the rest of the Hope colony, because he thinks that the Hope colony will bring peace to the Hope ship will bring peace to the Halcyon is the name of the cluster that you live in, is Halcyon. And so you have to decide whether or not you're going to, Phineas is the doctor's name, if you're going to go with the Dr. Phineas, or there's an organization called the Board, which is basically a monopolistic corporation that controls the way Halcyon operates. And so you have to bounce between the two, like, to do your, to further. Don't fall asleep on me, Josh. I'm almost done. I'm just kidding. But anyway, long story long.
Long story long.
Yeah.
It sounded like long story long.
It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed the deepness of it, but it didn't enwrap me so much that it was like all I thought about. It was like a fun game to get in, do these quick, because it was open world, but it was like open small spaces. So it was like it was linear-ish. You didn't get lost in the map of a bunch of stuff to do. I think you might get something out of it because of how much there's not to do, if you know, makes sense. Because conversely, with Fallout 4, when I opened that game back up after years of playing and just seeing this giant map, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
That was my problem with 3. Is I was just like, there's just so many different variables. There's no way I could see all I wanted to see with it, and so I didn't see any of it.
Well, but like, it is super interesting going back with my coworker who is playing the game too, and then the fun part is like we both like interacted with different people in different ways, to the point where like he didn't get certain missions because of it, and so like I was like, oh, what'd you do in this part? He's like, what are you talking about? I haven't done that yet. But he's technically further in the game than me. But like, depending on how you play, you can get to like late story beats earlier, and it's just a lot of fun.
So could you get other flaws and things as well?
Yeah, but I denied them because some of them were just awful. Like it was going to be like anytime you fight robots, which are practically the only thing that you fight, So like if you take a lot of damage from a certain enemy type, it'll say that you're scared of them. It'll be like, oh, you have like trauma from fighting robots. And then you'll consistently be weaker when you fight those things. I'm like, why would I want to be weaker? And I think the idea is that it's a consolation prize to getting this extra perk point, but the perks weren't really all that great. So it didn't really benefit me. I think I was going to talk about if there's anything bad about it, anything negative is like it just seems a lot of the same. Oh, that's why I went into Where the World Is. Like you're going to all these different planets, but you're fighting almost the exact same monsters on different planets. All the construction looks exactly the same. Every building works the exact same way, and the layout's all the same. So it's kind of after a while, it stopped getting interesting to play, and like I didn't like exploring the world because I already knew what was there because it was there on the other planet, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like if I came back to the game after I don't know a couple days not playing, I'm like, oh, I thought I left this planet, and it turns out I was on the new planet. It just looks the exact same.
Yeah.
So that would probably say my biggest flaw with it. Now that Microsoft owns Fallout and Obsidian, maybe they'll do some sort of giant collaboration where they can have money to make new worlds and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and there's DLC coming out for that game too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's again, I got it on Game Pass, so like I'm glad I played it through there because I was already debating this before I got the Xbox. I was already debating whether or not I wanted to buy it, Outer Worlds. And I think if I didn't have it on Game Pass, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. I would probably been a little frustrated. But now, having beaten it, I'm like, I would have paid money for it. It's weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that being the last game that I've played has kind of set me on this like, there's nothing interesting to play to me right now.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on as far as at least in our lives, as far as outside of games. I'm gonna go do my flight instructing and things like that. So it's hard to get focused on a game. I've been wanting to jump back into Destiny. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the people I follow on Twitter and stuff that there's big movement going on in the game, and I really want to get into it. I mean, there's still tons of stuff I've never done in the game, and I would love to get back into it, but I just don't have that time. Persona 5 Royal, I keep seeing some of the guys I listen to are still talking about it, and I'm like, man, I'd love to get into it. I can't wait to get into it, but that's just another 120 hours I just don't have right now. So I've only popped in. I popped in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm still trying to get things going. I think, really, honestly, I just need the yoke and pedal setup, because doing with the keyboard doesn't make any sense. And clicking, you got a keyboard and click, and I don't know how people do it without the actual setup.
Yeah.
I was also like disturbed because I was seeing people on like YouTube, basically Microsoft sending these YouTubers full on kits.
What?
Like iJustine got the full Monty of like this super high end yoke and these pedals and like just this whole setup that she's going to use for a 15-minute video, not know how to do, and then it's just going to go be put away. Like we're talking like $1,500, $2,000 worth of equipment. And like some of this stuff, like the yoke itself was a really nice yoke that no one could find because they're sold out. But they were sending them to these YouTubers that don't care about Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's like frustrating. Send it to me. I would love to do.
Well, I guess you got to get good at it. I think the amusing thing is it's like you're having the hardest time playing Flight Simulator. You're going to be doing flight in IRL here in a
right. Well, the other thing is, like, I've tried to use the controller and trying to set up everything. It just doesn't work very well. Like the sensitivity, it doesn't really read my PlayStation controller very well. Like in the drop down menus, it's not even like listed. It's kind of like this shadow in the menus, and I've got to like trick it into thinking there's something there. I don't know what's wrong. I've watched videos, and other people seem to have no problem hooking up their PlayStation 4 controllers to the Microsoft Flight Sim. But the other thing is, once you do get it hooked up, you've got to map every key to each trigger, and then they're not necessarily the most like clear instructions. So I don't know. I really want to get into it. I wish there was just like a controller button.
Yeah.
Like just map, put it on easy mode. That's fine, and just map it to this controller, like generic controller settings.
Yeah,
because they're going to have to do that for the Xbox version anyway. Like there's going to have to be a setting for that.
But they have some time on that, I would say, because I don't know when that's supposed to come out.
I'm not sure. And otherwise, I've kind of put down Tony Hawk as well. I'm into Tony Hawk 2. I kind of like blazed through the first game, and now I'm just kind of like, okay, I've had my fill of that, and I'll probably pop into that here and there to get things.
And I think for me, that's kind of like how I am looking at it too. It's just it's a quick game. It's it's the equivalent of a phone game for my brain right now. Well, one of the things, and I mean, that's been frustrating me about my Xbox that I just got. It's a day one Xbox that I got off Facebook, but I want to complain, but I don't. I'm sure that in the the updated, the 1S and the 1X and the series or whatever are probably better than this in multiple ways. But like, it's super frustrating to navigate the console, and everything needs to be updated. Like every time I click on a game, oh, there's a new update, and it takes forever. And oh, there's a new update, and I also can't download while like there's not a rest mode on this console. There might be a rest mode on the future consoles, but on this one there's not. So if I turn the Xbox off, my stuff won't download. I've been trying to play ESO for the last week, but it won't download. And it's also 100 gigabytes, so that's a problem. But like, anyway, that's just my frustration. So like the last few days, I keep like, oh, I'll play Spiritfarer, needs to be downloaded. Oh, I'll play Rage 2, needs an update. Well, I'll play this.
I've got Spiritfarer downloaded on my PC. I've also got let's see, I downloaded Spiritfarer. I downloaded Flight Simulator. I got both the Ori and the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisps downloaded.
Oh, that's going to look really good on your PC.
Obviously Slay the Spire, which I've actually gotten to Act 3. That was my my update on that is, I was able to get to the boss of Act 3, but I just could not beat him.
Yeah.
And then I went for like, I don't know, a month or two without playing.
A month.
And I came back, and my first run I beat Act 3, and then it's like it kills you, and like you win, and then it starts you back over. So it's great. I had a blast going through that, and I was like, yes, I beat it.
Did you try to go through it again?
Yeah, well, because once you finally get through Act 3, it unlocks a new character, and so I went through with a new character a couple times and lost, and
Did you get through Act 3?
No.
Again?
No.
No.
But tell me why I downloaded on here.
I've downloaded, just haven't played. Again, much like I don't know if I said this on my initial, but like I have Life is Strange 2 to play, and I just like it's such emotionally involved that I'm like I just need something that's mindless but also gameplay interesting.
Yeah. One thing is I want to see my playthrough of the Life is Strange Part 1.
Oh, you want to rewatch it?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see my playthrough though. Like I think it'd be hard to go back through it and make the same decisions to see my story.
Oh. Well, so you don't remember what happens? Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily I don't remember what happens, but I just want to watch it again.
Yeah.
And that I would have to make the same choices, and if I make a wrong choice somewhere, I'm going to see a different story, and I'll be like, well, that's neat, but that wasn't my story.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about that lately. Like I would love to go back and like see it again, but I don't want to like make the wrong choice. I mean, I know some of the choices I have to make, like at the end, I know the end choice, but like I just want to hear the story again.
Yeah.
And I have that emotional resonance when I made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
at that moment, and it's just like that devastation.
Yeah. I mean, I made the right choice. Well, I made the choice that I was happy with. It may not have been right for everybody, but it was right for me. Is all
Uh,
I'll say.
yeah. Anyway,
But
there's that.
yeah. Well,
Otherwise,
there
um,
you go.
I've just got my cell phone games. I tried to play Forgotten Anne.
Oh, it's on the phone?
Yeah, it's on the Google Play Pass or whatever.
Oh, that's
Uh,
cool.
and so I've got Forgotten Anne on here. The touchscreen controls just suck. I don't know how anybody plays with that stuff, but it's on there. But it looks beautiful. I mean, I really like how that looks. I'm gonna probably try to throw my controller on it and play it.
Yeah. Have you tried doing xCloud yet?
I have not, because anytime I think about booting it up, I don't have a controller with me.
Oh,
So
yeah. I'm interested to see how that works. So it seems like it's working well for a lot of people. Of course, again, seeing all this influence with the Switch.
Of course, I have the xCloud app. I don't have Xbox Online or anything because I don't have Game Pass Ultimate.
Oh,
So I don't know if I can actually log into it, but I still have the original, like the beta app.
You could probably log into mine.
Well, I probably could
and try that out. But because I do have Ultimate.
Well, I'm probably going to eventually get Ultimate because they're bumping me up to $10 anyway.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll do it.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, so I was just kind of at a loss of games. I like I said, I booted up ESO and I finally started playing it, and then I went to bed because I was super tired. And also, I don't know what it is. It's the same kind of game as Outer Worlds in terms of like first person perspective and all this stuff, but it's just not like, maybe it's because I was super tired, but I was also like not super into what I was doing. It just didn't feel fun.
Elder Scrolls has just never been my jam.
Well, I've been kind of thinking that if I get like for some reason a high fantasy kind of game has been on my mind to play. I really want to get Kingdoms of Amalur, but I don't know anything about the game. So I don't want to spend money, but there's not really many like high fantasy games on Game Pass right now, which is why I went with ESO.
Yeah.
I just want third person. I want like axes and shit, and maybe I want the first Dragon Age. Maybe that's what I want. Maybe I need Dragon Age.
Dragon Age is great. I think you'd probably like Final Fantasy 14 online.
I just don't want to pay $15 a month.
Yeah, that's my problem. I played the free trial of it and I really liked it, but I wasn't going to pay $15 a month to play it. That was the same with WoW. I liked playing WoW originally when it came out, or it wasn't when it came out when I originally played it, but I played a trial of it. And I liked it, but I was like, I'm not going to pay $15 a month to play this one game.
Yeah, well, that's one of my coworkers, different guy, but he loves Final Fantasy 14. That's practically his bread and butter, and he keeps telling me, there's now you can play it for up to like level 60 for free or level 30 or something like for free, but then you got to pay. And I'm like, I'm not going to get halfway invested into a game and then be mad that I can't play the rest because I don't want to pay $15. I mean, unless there was, I wouldn't. I was going to say if there was like a fee that you could just buy the whole thing. I don't know that I would do that either, but because I don't want to spend, like, I can play Destiny and Destiny's free and it's fun. Yeah. So I just don't play Destiny. So,
and if Destiny's actually on Game Pass now, I might be downloading it and playing it tonight. Actually, I'm going to look at that right now.
You might want to get started on it.
But continue. So, what are you thinking about playing first on our PlayStation 5s?
Oh,
hang on. OBS, hope you're looking at the right thing. Okay.
I
opened up the Xbox app and it put it over OBS Discord. But we're good. We're good.
What am I going to play first on the PS5? Well, honestly, it's probably going to be Cyberpunk 2077.
Really?
Yeah. That's the next game I'm interested in getting into. And it'll already be out. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be the first game I play. And while I can get it for the PS4, why would
World
I?
War Z is on here.
But it's either going to be Cyberpunk or Miles Morales.
I think it's going to be Spider-Man for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they did confirm, if anybody's not sure, that if you have, because I even asked on Twitter, it's like, so if I have Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 and all the DLC, can I just buy Miles Morales and get the upgrade, or no? And you don't get because the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition comes with the PS5 remaster of the original, which is a different SKU altogether than the original one. So it's not like the same at all.
Yeah.
At all, as far as you have to buy the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition to play Spider-Man PS4 on PS5.
Yeah.
The remastered version.
The remastered version. There's still an upscaled version that
you can still play the backwards compatible version that'll be a little bit better, but you're not getting the remastered version.
Right.
And you can't buy the remastered version separately.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess they're thinking of it like it's a new game. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, but it's not.
I mean,
it's
not quite Demon Souls.
You're paying $60, but now I don't think it's necessarily a bad deal. You're paying for $60 or $70, whatever it is. You're getting the original Spider-Man PS4, the DLC, and Miles Morales. It's not a bad deal, but for someone who's already got PS4, Spider-Man, and all the DLC, and I just want Miles Morales, I'm going to pay $40 for DLC, which I don't know. We think Miles Morales is going to be pretty big, but it just seems like if I want the best version of everything, I got to pay another $60 or $70, and it seems just a little skeevy.
It does a little bit. I wonder because I mean that's half the articles I'm seeing right now is about this. I'm wondering if they're going to change that.
No, I don't think so. Not at this point.
You don't think so?
I can't imagine at this point doing that, because really it's only a $20 difference, I think, right?
Yeah.
So it's not bad. It's just weird.
Do you think you will get the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah, I'm probably going to get the Ultimate Edition because I can't play Spider-Man PS4 anymore because of the way we did things. So I've got to get it, and I want to see it looking as best as it can.
Yeah.
I think the weird thing is like they touted like 3 new suits or anything. Like, okay, that's cool, but that I don't know. That's going to be the marker for making it worth $70 or $60.
Right.
What is the number? So I know.
I think it's 70.
$69.99. Is that for sure?
I think.
Ultimate Edition is $69.99. So
nice.
I mean,
we're gonna expect to pay $10 more for all of our games now. That's just.
Yeah, but we're paying $10 more for. It's really paying $70 for Miles Morales because you already have Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah, and but I'll probably play it again. Like I'll play it through it again, and plus I'll probably get a different trophy, new trophies.
Yep. But that means in total for Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, you'll spend $140.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It is a good game.
I'm not treating it lightly. It's just like this is the kind of the situation is that if we want the best looking Spider-Man and this is what we have, then we're gonna pay $70 for it.
Or you wait for
a deal.
So, yeah, it just seems a little like,
Yeah. The thing is, I'm probably not going to honestly, I might not get any new games because of how much I spend on the console. I'll just play the PlayStation Plus collection. Play God of War again.
Yeah. Are they going to give us a PlayStation 5 game on for PS Plus on day one?
Probably not yet. I imagine what they'll do is continue adding to the PS Plus collection. I don't know, because I could see something like eventually maybe like Godfall or something being on there. Maybe not Godfall, um, but how many developers are making PS5 games right now? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot, but like, you know, it's not like Assassin's Creed's gonna come out on it.
Mhm.
So we'll just have to wait and see. My
It's not showing Destiny on Game Pass, by the way.
oh
Not
well,
for
maybe
PC.
it's not for PC. Well, then also Destiny is going to be on PlayStation 5 at launch. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they did say
Um,
that.
but I was curious about how you felt about the games during the showcase because there's a lot of games there um, that I think are interesting. Starting off with Final Fantasy 16, did that do anything for you?
I'm interested. I haven't really played a proper Final Fantasy game since 10, honestly.
Hmm.
I mean, other than Final Fantasy 7
Right.
remake. I, Final Fantasy 10 was the last one I played and enjoyed. I
Hmm.
tried 11. No, I didn't do 11. 11 was the online one. I tried 12. It didn't speak to me very much. Maybe it was time and place kind of stuff. 13, I tried. I thought the voices were bad. I thought the story was just
Hmm.
not good. It was very like walking down a hallway like the whole time I played it. It just didn't feel right, and it was not good.
Yeah.
So I didn't play 13 or 2 or 3. And then Final Fantasy 14 we've talked about. I spent a little bit of time on the free MMO version. I think it's a great game, especially after they revamped it. But I'm not into that. Final Fantasy 15 did nothing for me as far as I thought the visuals were kind of neat, but
Mm.
and I never felt compelled to go and get into it. So I'm
Right.
not the Final Fantasy master at all. But I do think this one looked interesting. I think most interesting about it that is it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Yeah.
Um, but I am excited to see more. And did it give a release window?
I don't believe so. I think we're still a ways off.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the question is going to be what's going to come first: Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2 or Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
Granted,
I
two
think
different dev teams, but so it may
yeah.
not necessarily have anything to do with each other. But
And speaking of Square, I think they're about to release that Kingdom Hearts
the dance
rhythm game.
song game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I did find interesting is that the creative director heading up 16 is also either lead designer, story designer, narrative designer of 14.
Okay.
And I think that there's like some like spiritual connection between the two games.
Okay. That's kind of neat.
Not so sure, but my friend was telling me about that. What about Hogwarts? Hogwarts Legacy.
I mean, it looks like everything we wanted it to look like. I think all
Yeah.
the rumors we heard when the initial release was out or the initial leaks came out. I mean, it's everything about those leaks were correct. The time period, late 1800s,
Hmm.
so it's way before anything that happened in the books, and anything with the Grindelwald, all that is years to come. So we
Hmm.
can have really interesting, disconnected storylines. Build your own. It kind of looked like there's potential for being some kind of shared world.
Well, it's not. It's not a
It's
shared
not
world game. It's a single player open world game,
okay.
action
I,
adventure
I I thought it
or
seemed like
RPG.
it could have some multiplayer elements, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I would love
I
there to
think
be
I
a
think
Harry
all the
Potter game.
visuals, at least for the uh, uh, trailer we saw, I thought it looked really good.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm excited to see. It says it's coming to all the platforms, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, it's everything we want from a Harry
Yeah.
Potter game.
Um, wrong list. Um, we don't really play Call of Duty, but did you like what you saw from Call of Duty?
I thought it was actually a very good demo of Call of Duty. It looked a lot more visceral.
Hmm.
I think it was a little bit. It was very much like a Call of Duty type over the top attached a grenade to him and toss him. I was like, and then he's got this high-powered
RC car.
But this is the Cold War, so
and somehow it goes as fast as it can catch up to the plane.
It definitely crazy over the top, but I mean, it's a blockbuster, Fast and Furious kind of stuff. So it looked fun.
Well, see, the Black Ops game were generally some of my more favorite of Call of Duty games, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm just not interested in these kinds of games. But like, even playing Modern Warfare story mode on PlayStation is just kind of just not doing it for me anymore.
Yeah, I was trying to. I was doing the World War II playthrough, and I just kind of fell off because there's something about it just doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel as compelling as I used to with the Modern Warfare 1 and 2 and 3. I thought were great, and Black Ops 2. I thought were really good. I did hear good things about Modern Warfare. They were the remake or whatever there
was
reboot,
Modern Warfare reboot, and then they also remade both Modern Warfares.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the new Modern Warfare they released. That one was supposed to have a really decent story. I'm kind of curious about getting into it, but I don't want a 125 gigabyte download. So
it's really frustrating, and it's all mainly for Warzone. And well,
you skipped over.
One thing I'm surprised they didn't talk about was if there's going to be a Warzone in this, like if they're going to be compatible with all.
Well, they didn't say anything really about the multiplayer in this event, and I think they have said it's going to be connected to the Warzone in some sense. You kind of skipped over the gameplay of Miles. One of the interesting things about the gameplay, I thought the enemies were a bit generic, but I thought the actual gameplay, I thought it looked very unique. It didn't look like a reskinned version of Spider-Man's actions. Right. I actually thought it reminded me a lot of Cole McGrath from the Infamous games.
It did have
because all those electricity blasts and stuff, and that was very much like as you were powering up Cole, like he was doing all these cool electrical blasts and stuff. And I thought that was like now two different dev teams have Sucker Punch and Insomniac, but they've always been Sucker Punch and Insomniac for me have always been like on the same
siblings.
Page. Yeah. So I think that definitely called back to that for me.
No, I thought that the whole lead in for the trailer, find out you're talking to the Tinker, you're messing with the Tinker who looks like a hunter from Destiny. And
it's like a hunter from Destiny crossed with that one dude from Watch Dogs 2 with the mask with the
any of them. Oh wait, Watch Dogs 2, I thought you were talking about 3.
I was those like LED light masks he had or whatever.
I liked the bridge scene. I mean one of my favorite things is seeing Spider-Man save people, and he go out of his way to like save everybody. So
he had the requisite like web slinging and holding things together. He's just got to do that in everything he can do. In the movies and the games. So that was there.
But I thought it was neat. Like it seems like the like interactive moments are going to be more defined. And what I mean by that is like the QTE or whatever. Like if there's a moment where he's like like when he went to grab the person through the bus and like go through it, like that was the button prompt for that felt more it felt like it was more integral to the gameplay than just all right, now it's time to hit a button and then let the camera take over.
Well, I don't think the original in the PS4 game, I don't think the button QTEs, the button prompts were very much like the old God of War style. I thought it was
true.
I thought it was definitely more integrated and less about like hitting a specific beat and more about like doing the cinematic thing but being involved in it.
Well, it's good that they're at least keeping that thread, and of course, everything looked more polished. I'm pretty sure they showed a picture of a puddle at some point.
I think they actually said something about puddles.
Mm-hmm.
I think Miles was like, "Man, that's a nice looking puddle." Like just just flat out like calling out those stupid people.
Yeah. So yeah, Miles Morales. I mean, the thing is, I didn't mean to skip over it, but I just know that's going to be great. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, now whether or not it's as long of an experience as Spider-Man, or if it's as detailed as an experience, like I'm still interested in like swinging around.
I think if it's even a more tight experience than the original Spider-Man, because I think the ending of that game kind of drug just a tad, throwing the extra the Sable enemies in so late, and I think if they tightened it up, it would be probably closer to what they're talking about. What this is going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It looks like it's going to play different. The music was great. I thought it definitely gave a different tone to it. More of the Into the Spider-Verse kind of hip hop. Just gave it a good vibe, I think.
Yeah. So yeah. And then Demon Souls. Did we talk about that on this one or the last one? Because
we talked about it a little bit on the last one.
It's a game. I mean, it looks gorgeous. It looks like it'd be a great game to play. I just know that I won't. Like, I would like to play it just so I can like go in this world, and I like seeing the comparison of the boss fight in there versus the boss fight from the PS3. Just how different, like, and how realized it's just crazy to me. So it's super nice to see it.
Did you see the meme going around where someone took that like weird, gross giant monster and put the face of the dude from the Halo?
Oh,
one of the Halo enemies on it.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's good.
And then there's stuff like Oddworld. Oh, Deathloop. Bethesda game that is got a timed exclusive to Sony PS5. What do you think?
I mean, I think about it like I think about most Bethesda games. Like for some reason, they're just somewhere on the outside of the wheelhouse of what I care about. Like I think they're cool. I think they have a great style. The Deathloop was really interesting. I don't think it looks quite like I expected it to. There's a weird like paint people. The people are like strange looking. They're not. I don't know what I expected. I think I expected more of like a grindhouse style, and now we're getting more like almost Picasso grindhouse.
I have to look at it again because I don't remember seeing it the way that you see it. I thought it was
but neat. Also it's just like I know it as a Bethesda game, it's just not going to be something I'm super into. I'm not that first person perspective a lot of the time. Stuff like the Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Well, I mean, it has a very strong like Dishonored vibes.
Dishonored, yeah.
Because, but even if the game is not gameplay wise interesting to me, I do think that they're doing something super interesting with story, like this idea that this guy in one time loop has to kill all these people, but in order to do that, you have to set off this chain of reactions to kill all the 8 people in the same time loop. But then also, not only is that complicated enough, someone's trying to kill you while you're doing it. So like it seems like it has like a lot of replay value. The thing is, I still don't understand though, I mean, it's a story game, but is it like is the entire game one run? And like roguelike sort of thing where if you die, you have to start at the beginning and then reassess.
Well, I think it seems like there's different like episodes or different levels. And like in order to get to the next phase, you have to get through this phase. And in this phase, they should and in the trailer we saw here, we saw one level. And we didn't see the whole level. We only saw the end goal, the end run of this level where he's done it multiple times now and found out all this information. And we're able to, and then he's going to kill all these, and then that ends the loop of this section, and now he gets to go into the next section and has to fight through that loop. So like, I think it'll be like
in my mind, it was an entire loop. Like the entire game is one loop, and if you if you miss out, that makes to make it more manageable. That makes more sense because that would be pretty frustrating. I would say if you had to get all these 8 people.
Well, that would just make it like a roguelike.
Well, yeah, that's what I said.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, and then of course they have the games we don't necessarily care about: Oddworld, Soulstorm, Five Nights at Freddy's, Devil May Cry 5, and that's the rest of the show.
Yeah,
I think
the
for
PlayStation Plus
me,
collection will have.
Oh, and I have a list of those games.
Okay.
So the list of the games on the PlayStation Plus collection is as follows: God of War, Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Battlefield 1, Monster Hunter World, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, The Last Guardian, Ratchet and Clank, Infamous Second Son, Days Gone, Bloodborne, Detroit Become Human, Batman Arkham Knight, Mortal Kombat 10 X or Mortal Kombat X, 10. Persona 5, Until Dawn, and Resident Evil Biohazard.
I did think the the Fallout 4. There you go. It's a Microsoft game. Is on PlayStation Plus collection.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Persona 5 is a great inclusion. Although it's probably should have been Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah,
but I can see why they're not doing that
get
right
Royal
now.
online for $25 or something like that. So I'm like, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. But I think for anybody who was not willing to put down money for Persona 5 but wants to try it, I think they absolutely should with this PlayStation Plus collection.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at games that
they said Final Fantasy 15, right? So I might I might try it there.
I don't quite understand. So I have this long-standing thing with Battlefield 1. I have a physical copy of Battlefield 1. But also, you can't find it online anymore. It's like they've erased Battlefield 1 from existence because it's not at any game store anymore. It's not on the when you type in on the PlayStation Store, it's not there. It just has this really weird. Oh, and because I also went to go trade it in, and it just you can't I type in Battlefield 1. It's like, did you mean Battlefield this, Battlefield that? It's crazy. So I thought it was strange that that's on there. Because I'm like, apparently no one plays it. Yeah, out of this list, I'd probably, the thing is, we have God of War, we have Last of Us Remastered, we have Uncharted, we have, technically we do have Fallout 4. We have Ratchet and Clank, we have Infamous, we have Days Gone, we have Bloodborne. We have all of these games except for Mortal Kombat 10 and Until Dawn. And
I had Mortal Kombat. See, and that's the other one. Why isn't that just Mortal Kombat 11?
Right.
That's the one everybody's playing right now. I had 10 and got rid of it, or I think it might still be around somewhere. But
and when I played Until Dawn, I played it from Redbox, so it was just.
And I have Until Dawn as a PlayStation Plus game.
Oh, so the bonus out of all these is just going to be.
This is for people who haven't had PlayStation Plus for a while, who've not played all these PlayStation 4 games. And there's a couple of games like Monster Hunter World, Final Fantasy 15, Persona 5 that for some people, like for 2 of those for me, that I might dabble in.
Yeah. I do think it's weird. Again, why is The Last of Us Part 2 not on there? Or Ghost of Tsushima?
Now they didn't say whether or not they would or would not add to this collection. So I guess it's possible. It's feasible in the future they could add. I think it's too early to put Last of Us 2 on there, but it probably not too early to put Final Fantasy or Mortal Kombat 11 or some newer stuff on there as well.
Yeah,
I'm surprised the Uncharted collection isn't just on there.
Yeah, well, especially considering that The Last of Us Remastered is on there. I'm like, that's that game came out 8 years ago,
right?
So yeah, I always say I'm going to give Bloodborne a shot, but again, I'm not.
I'm more likely to give Demon Souls a shot than Bloodborne because
I also just don't like the world of Bloodborne.
Yeah. Creepy grossness. No thanks.
Yeah. How is it getting your pre-order?
I I thought it wasn't too bad, honestly. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
I didn't get it quite where I wanted to because I wanted the discount from the place I work, but I got two. We have two pre-orders just in case. I think, like I said, I don't know if we mentioned it here, but the PlayStation's pre-order I think was the best as far as getting in there and having the easiest time getting the system pre-ordered. It was a good experience compared to what everybody else was trying to do.
Yeah. We both managed to secure 2 consoles if we wanted them.
Yeah.
So I mean that's really cool. I'm gonna go with my one through PlayStation because that's the one I have my I have like accessories that I pre-ordered from it. And also I was able to get the discless version. But you weren't able to get the discless version from PlayStation, were you?
No, that wasn't even an option. When I got my code, I logged in and the disc version was sold out. So it's clear. I think what's gone on is they added the disc version later or disc free version later, and they're still ramping up
production on
those. I think that was probably a later inclusion because they knew they were going to have to sell the one with the disc at $500, and so I think probably the rumors of the Lockhart and the release of the SAD Xbox One, what was it, the SAD,
the all digital edition.
Yeah, X1S all 1S all digital edition. Probably encouraged Sony to go on and do a disc free version.
Yeah.
But they wanted the full power. They don't want to make it a PS5 Lite. So so that to me tells me the production on that started later. And that's why that one sold out faster. And people who are trying to just get in are more likely to not need a disc.
Player.
Well, I wanted the disc drive anyway because I don't have a 4K Blu-ray player. So that's kind of why I decided to go for the full mounting.
I decided just to go with the disc-less because I'm all digital anyway. If I wanted to watch 4K, it still runs 4K, right? So like I can still watch 4K.
Yeah, but there is a difference between actually watching 4K and streaming 4K.
No. But what if I buy a movie and it downloads and then I watch it?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Do you download movies to your system?
I don't know. I've bought one movie on my PlayStation 4, I think. I don't know why. But I'm like, what about like through Amazon? Well, yeah, that's getting into it. But yeah, no. So I'm happy with my discless and my 2 DualSense and my DualSense charger.
Yeah, I got an extra DualSense and I hate that. I still hate that name, but
it didn't.
I think everyone should take all the retailers should take a page out of that book and say, hey, if you're interested in a pre-order, instead of coming to this site, you need to give us your name, your email address, and then we're going to email you. We're going to do a random number generator, and you might get an email based on how many pre-orders we have.
Yeah.
And that way you have a special link to come in and you have one option or 2 options. You could even, when you sign up for it, which version do you want?
Yeah.
Okay. I want the PlayStation, or I want either option, first available, discs only, whatever. And then if you get selected, you get shot an email.
Yeah.
And you go in there and you don't have to fight, 5 million other people trying to log onto the site at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Well, see, my whole thought about the discless was that, I think it's, when you look at retailers, I've seen pictures where it's like we only have 2 discless and we have like 10 discs versions or S and X or whatever. And I do think it is kind of amusing to see stores like GameStop having to sell a discless version. It's kind of like giving someone else the bullet to load your own gun, or whatever. But I mean, they have to sell, and I mean, not for nothing, they've gone up in stock this past couple weeks. So we'll see how long that lasts.
And they still sell PlayStation cards and
yeah. I mean,
Xbox
there's
cards, and
things for them to do.
Yeah, there's shifts they can do if they can survive Corona, to maintain. I think this year has helped slow down both their growth and their fall.
Well, I mean, they're about to close 300 more stores or something.
400. It was originally they were closing 300 this year, and they had to up that to 400. So yeah, they are going to close more, but they still have plenty of cash in the bank to make things change, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'll be interesting.
I also think that Xbox just did their pre-orders a couple days ago. I don't think that went much better.
It didn't go that much better.
Nvidia put out 2 graphics cards. Their launches didn't go that much better. I think it has to do with all these bots that are going out and buying up everything. That's why you can't get a Switch. That's why you can't get anything. So I think doing these emails like Sony did, I didn't have to fight for bots. They gave they allocated me a PlayStation to buy.
Yeah.
So I think that could help fend off these scalping bots that we're seeing.
Yeah. See, I was just curious if that's a real thing. Is there really like robots that that people make to? Wow.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a real thing. You can go on eBay. You could have gone on eBay immediately after the Xbox release and the PlayStation's release and the Nvidia cards release and see dozens of listings for confirmed pre-orders listed for $10,000 and $1,500 and $25,000. Like,
just why would people? I don't know. Why would people be interested in buying that for $10,000?
Don't know.
But see, I assume those all were just fake. I just assumed they were all fake. But I don't know.
Some of the listings are fake. I think there's also bots going on eBay trying to buy up cards to resell the cards. And so I think people are putting exorbitant prices on their tags to get the bots to pick them anyway. Because the bots don't care. They're just trying to buy the consoles and such.
Interesting.
See, I'm keeping an eye on eBay for not for the Nvidia cards that are just coming out, but so this is super inside baseball for people who aren't computer people. But Nvidia just released a graphics card called the 3080. There's the 30,000 series, so 3070. You've fallen asleep already. 3080 and 3090. And the important thing about those are the last generation. The 2080 Ti is like the big kahuna, and that was like a $1,200, $1,300 graphics card. The 2080 Ti, and Nvidia is releasing these new cards, the 3070 and the 3080. The 3070 is priced at $500 and has this equivalent power as the 2080 Ti.
Oh wow!
For $700 less, and the 3080 is going to be a step up from a 2080 Ti at $700 compared to a $1,200 graphics card. So I'm looking for those 2080 Ti's to come on hit the market at the $400 price range, because they used to be a $1,200 card.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find those people offloading these cards just so they could buy the new cards, because the new cards are getting completely sold out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Man, to have expendable income, which I know someone's going to say about me having 2 PlayStations pre-ordered, but I'm not buying 2.
Exactly.
I'm getting 1, just to be abundantly clear.
Yeah.
Unless one of you wants to buy one from me for 100% markup.
Yeah. For $15,000, I will sell you my PS5 pre-order.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
I was gonna say that's all the wares I have for you today. I don't. I mean, I'm not really playing anything else. I'm just gonna kind of. I've been playing guitar, which
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm talking about, but I'm doing. I'm doing all around. And I kind of like Tony Hawk. I play for a little bit and then I give up. But um, but I'm not quite hit 6 score on it yet. I'm barely hitting the
Lies.
what?
Sorry. I got a notification for Game Pass that Dishonored is leaving on 9/30. Yeah, but it's going to be back. It's Bethesda.
Yeah. Yeah. But it might be a while before we do another Ware Gaming Weekly. We might do a pickup here or there, depending on interesting happens, or I don't know.
There will definitely be one, like I said, around November 10th is the Xbox release, which I don't care about because I've got the PC. But the November 12th, we should be getting our PS5s on that day.
So your hands-on impressions.
Our hands-on of the big, massive box that we're getting. It's we've always made fun of Xbox for having the biggest boxes, but it looks like Sony's gonna have the market on that one this time.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it's a silly design. I don't love it, but I accept it.
I'm fine with the design. It's cool.
I mean, I'd rather have the speaker box, 1S.
Oh yeah,
Series S, but
the hot plate.
Yeah. It's funny.
Right.
Did you see that? No, yeah, no, it's fine. Well, that's the show for you. Thank you guys for listening to our ramblings. The PS5 is just upon us, and the Xbox is just upon us. So we're excited for the future is now, guys. Well, until next time, my name is Nick. You can find me on Instagram, and I don't know why I keep saying that. Twitter and Instagram at SpeakNicklish.
And you can find me at Jaws1015 on Twitter, and you can follow the channel at WareGaming_. And you can email us weekly at waregaming.com. I have access to that email. If you have any questions, send them our way.
Ask.
And we will see you guys again soon. Until next time, say goodbye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.